Hello and welcome to It's All Relative. Okay, great. Let's just go on ahead and get right into it. Love After Lockup. Let me tell you something. Love After Lockup is one of my favorite shows to watch. Like, it's manna from heaven. I love it so much. Why do I love it? I think because it reminds me of my clients that I used to work with. So, previously in my former life, all of my clients were previously incarcerated or all were on probation. So they involve the criminal justice system. And my clients think very much like the clients in or these cast members think. And let's just get into it. First one up is Damon, Goddess, and Bonita. Listen, listen, listen. Damon is on my nerves. Okay, he is on my nerves. And you know who else is on my nerves with Damon? His trifling mama. I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk about people, but you just got to call a thing a thing. Damon's mama, you are trifling, miss. And let me tell you why you trifling. Because it's one thing to know that your son is involved in shenaniganry. Okay, that's a word, I made it up. That's one thing, but to help him do this is also trouble. That's the thing that makes it troubling. And not only that, this man got what he said, 4 kids. He got 4 kids, 4 different baby mamas, and 2 of those kids are girls. At least 2 that we see are girls. Why would you allow your son to continue to be a no good trifling man and not hold him accountable? And even if you're not going to hold him accountable, why are you helping? Why are you lying to these women? Why are you cozying up to these women and saying, oh yeah, girl, like helping them to believe that they're the only one? You are helping him perpetuate this lie. That is not love. That is not what love looks like, right? I get that you love your son and maybe you want your son happy. But there comes a time when you have to have that man, you have to help that man grow up. And for that stepfather to be pretending and playing around too, just bad, 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 bad. No, I give y'all an F. You are failing this chapter. Not good. No, sirree, Bob. And let's add in the fact that instead of seeing his children first, no, he goes to make sure that he get him a little vagina over there with the goddess. No, no. Why weren't your kids first, Damon? That's my question. How come? Why? And why your mama ain't help you? Like, I'm so upset. Listen, I like both Bonita and Goddess, right? I like Bonita in that she's messy boots. I love her. Baby, that belly stay out. And you know what? I love it. You hear me? That is some kind of confidence that I promise you I want. You understand? I'm not mad at her. And the fact that she's like, well, I sold, 100 and what she said she sold $117,000 worth of, or 100, maybe 100 and plus $1,000 for 17,000. Here's the other thing, right? You're never going to get your money, the money that you spent on those things. They were worn and you just don't, you're just not going to get it. It depreciates. That's why it's not an asset. They depreciate. So that's just that. And also, I don't fault sis. Listen, the people feel how they feel, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And it goes a little something like this. I'm not doing no bid with nobody. It's not a thing. The judge broke us up. You understand? If you are doing the things that get you incarcerated, then please, no, I'm not doing it. I don't believe in that. And so there's a video around where I say, like, we don't hold them accountable, and to, do all this lovey-dovey waiting for you business. I don't believe in that. That's just me personally. And I get it. I get that doing that time is hard. The hope would be that it's so hard that you never want to go back. Damon them been in and out. And now, Bonita and mom, I hope he learned his lesson. How could he? He got girls, giving him things and sending him things. He got his mama co-signing on his BS. Like, what are we really talking about here? I'm so angry with Damon. And this idea that I love and hate at the same time that people are throwing around this polyamory business. Polyamory is about honesty. That's really what it's about. And polyamory. So let's, clear this up. Polyamory is when everybody gets to talk to everybody. So not just that the girls are going to, or the women are going to only be with the man. That's a different kind of relationship. And that's called bigamy, when you have one person that is going to be centered in the center of everything. That's not polyamory, that is bigamy, right? So there's that, and that's what he's looking for. And if you want that, you just have to be honest about it. So why are you lying to them? Oh, I want to keep both of them. Why? And why not give them the option? I can't stand this nonsense. Give them the option, because you know what? You will find people that want to be in that type of relationship. Did I tell y'all that I'm watching This is Polyamory, or This is Poly on, oh, that too is on We TV, baby. I'm all in. I'm all in. 5 episodes I am in. Oh, because it was Love During Lockup that we met Nita, who was with the other people, and they show them on This is Polly. So baby, it's a thing, and I'm into it. And those people have signed up to be in polyamorous relationships happily. So Damon, if that's what you want, baby, get to wherever it is you need to be on the sites and the things, and then sign up for it. But don't trick these girls into that, and you are lying to them. And so you cannot be in a polyamorous relationship lying. That is not something that you can do. And most of these relationships, that's the part, most of them are lying. So then, okay, we got Benita, Damon, and Goddess. Now we got Kaylee and Michael. Listen, Kaylee has got a lot of stuff with her, and I can understand how she arrived at the place that she arrived at. She's overwhelmed and she wants what she wants. She didn't have a really great role model with her mom and teaching her about these things. So she's just out here in the wild. And she's right. She's trying to give to her husband and make sure that he has all the things that he wants and needs. And Michael, I know you lying when you gonna come over here trying to give her, and make her feel bad about her spending or whatever else, and tell her that she's not being honest with you about the debt that she has, when you over there not being honest with her with that $14,000 that you got hiding with your mama. And here's another thing, ladies, come here and pay close attention. You see, you think that meeting the mama means something. You think that the mother then is going to have loyalty to you or possibly to the union. Not a thing. You hear me? That is not how that works out. And I'm not saying that there aren't mothers that aren't honest. I would be a mom that is honest. Like if my son was dating multiple women and they were coming and he was bringing them over to the house here, or even multiple men. If I had a daughter that was dating multiple men and she was bringing them all around, I'm going to be the same. And I'm not going to pretend like they're the only one, because I believe in honesty, because not being honest can get you hurt, because people's real feelings are involved, and you don't know what they'll do when they're hurting. So they could come after me because I helped, to continue the lie. No, baby, you won't get me. We're going to be honest around here. So I'm going to ask, hey, did you went over there and you told them about so-and-so and such and such? And maybe that's my formal training, because as a therapist, right, and a couples therapist, you are not allowed to keep the secrets. So if ever in a time that I find out some information, maybe there was a breakout session, or maybe I'm seeing them separately just for a minute, and someone tells me something, I'm not holding that. That ain't my job. I don't do that. You got to, when you gonna tell? You got till the next session to let them know, baby, I'm not doing that. So Michael, what makes you any better then? I'll wait. Michael, mama, why you ain't? And while you're on him about doing all these other things, and I can appreciate that your main focus and your priority is your son, but don't you think if he's going to have a successful marriage, a successful relationship, that he should be honest with his wife? And not only that, this is a wife with children. There are children involved. No, they're not his children. But when he decided that he was going to go over there and deal with this woman with the children, that he should be a stand-up guy. Like, why are you entering into her life and it just feels like you just trying to get everything that you could get out of her? And I do not like that, Sam I am. And she's already got pieces that, are chipped away at. She's a little broken. Why are you doing that? Like, I just don't understand that. And from one single mother to another girl, Michael Mama, why you doing that to her? I do not like that, Sam I am. Let's everybody get this together. And baby, all this water throwing, y'all got to stop that. You cannot throw things on people, and you cannot say things, because the preview for the episode for next week's episode, Kaylee throws stuff on him and then she screams like, good luck when you go back to prison. Girl, you can't come back from that. Right? So that's the other part. You can't go, oh, well, that's why you're going back to jail. Then I got to ask you a question, because that means on the inside, you really believe that he was going back, sis. So if you really believe that, then what the hell were you doing spending $42,000 on this man when you got these children? And please, for the love of God, your daughter, she is not your emotional support. You got to go get you a girlfriend. You can't talk. She's 15. You cannot talk to that girl about your relationship that way. That's not healthy. It's not good for her. And I get that, your mom wasn't the best role model, but I'm here to tell you, Pumpkin, cut that out. She's not being a kid. She's being your girl, your homegirl, and she's involved in your relationship, and she shouldn't be. So can you please stop? Can you work on that, please? Okay, thanks. And now, whoopsies. Damn it, I done dropped my pen. And now there's Felicia and Rich. I like Rich. I think he's sensitive, and I can appreciate that. And he seems honest, and he says, she came to him in a dream and all those other things. So he seems honest. Whether he's, divorced or not, I do not know. But right now he seems honest. And I'm giving Felicia a little bit of a pass, only because she went into prison when she was 17 years old. That baby don't know nothing about life. So doing 9 years, now she's 26 or, whatever. She don't know nothing about relationships. She don't know nothing about life. So I'm trying to give her some grace. But in her not being honest with him, it makes it seem like she's a user, which she let us know that she was. I think she said she was seeing multiple guys when she was in prison. And so she chose Rich thinking that she was going to give it a try. So I don't know. I don't know that I see a future for them. I get that the family, they're trying to make up for lost time and think, and from a place of guilt, like if they had done better by her, then she wouldn't have ended up in prison. And I certainly understand that because she was a child. So I agree. I just think you guys, instead of doing the work for her, I think that you have to have conversation with her and show her and model for her how she should behave as an adult. I think that's the best way to proceed with Felicia, and go, girl, I get it. Don't stay in the hotel with him, Pumpkin, and you don't want to give him none. And I get not wanting to give him any, or be honest about, hey, this isn't something I feel like I'm ready for, but I think it's important to be honest with him. And you don't put people through a test when you put these things up before them. I think you just have to be honest. You have to pay attention to the way that they're responding to your honesty. I think that that's the way to go, and that's the way to handle that. Kirsten and Brady, I don't really have much to say about them. I don't really be paying attention, and I don't know, but in his confessionals, he looked like he high. I don't know, is it me? But he looks like he's high in his confessionals. So, it just already feel like, that ain't gonna work. And I guess the part, I think at some point they have conversation, maybe it's in the preview, and she was like, I'm looking for help. And I went, oh, girl, is that it? Are girls outside looking in the jailhouse for help? So let me say this. I know I'm all over the place, but bear with me. Love After Lockup reminds me a great deal of Love is Blind, because you're just on the phone having conversations. So they're killing time and, telling you whatever it is that you want to hear. So let me say this. I don't think it's always that they're telling you what you want to hear, but a lot of times it is. I just think maybe they're bored and they're passing the time away. And maybe on the phone in the moment, they mean it. And it's hard, I think, for them to really imagine what life on the outside will look like and how drastic that has to be for them because of the criminal justice component that is included in in their lives. So I get that they want that and they want to do better, but it's something very different when you are now allowed freedom and you're allowed to move and do the things that you want to do. I've seen it time and time and time again. Does it work out for some people? Yes. Many, no. I think most give you that jailhouse talk and then they get out and it's a very different story. Because I don't know that they're ready to change their lives necessarily. It's not always something that um was what they wanted. It was a product of, a consequence, right? So they had to sit down and think about their actions, but it's very, very hard when you get back out into the real world and you're back with your family and your friends, and the temptation to do the things that you did before you went in, really great. It's a lot to overcome. So I think that's kind of my issue with Kaylee and Michael. Like, girl, what were you thinking? Not, excuse me, not Kaylee and Michael, Felicia. Nope. Kristen and Brady. What were you thinking? How did you think that he was going to come get out of jail and then immediately be a loving, caring, supportive husband? And anytime anybody got a felony on their record, their time out is going to be so much more difficult because it's so much harder to get a job. And if they're out on parole or probation, they have another layer of responsibility because they must take care of that business first and foremost. So what job did you think he was going to get and how he was going to help, sis? Like, how did you think that was going to work out, pumpkin? So I'm so confused. And he's dealing with a drug addiction. Babes, he got to go to AA, NA, and all that other stuff. And in all of those programming, they tell them you should not be in relationship for at least a year. And I definitely think at least 2 years. What you thought was finna happen, love? And you have relationship. You are in communication with his ex-girlfriend, with his baby mama. What make you think that you are different? Ooh. Ladies, sometimes I just want to shake the shit out of us. Like, what makes us think that we're going to be any different than the woman that was before us? Nothing, because it's not anything to do with the woman. It's all about what this man want to do and how he want to do it. Ooh. So let's see what happens. But I think, like I said, I think he relapses. And then what? And now you done drug your kids into this, and now they looking at you and him. Girl, no. That brings me to Zay and Carrington. Girl, that was such a mess. And why was it a mess? Because poor little Carrington was not over the heartache and the heartbreak of her baby daddy. She loved that man, and that man broke something inside of her. And so now she's looking externally for someone else to validate and let her know that she's worthy of love. But from the way that the family talked about her and being in a relationship with that baby daddy, that was already skeptical. We were already not fully, what do I want to say? I think that we were already putting everything into that man to validate us. And she was such a young little whippersnapper anyway. So, but this dude, Zay, and then the part that had me was the Zay's ex-girlfriend. Like, and when he come home, I'm gonna be his girlfriend. And when we find out what's really going on, sis, why do you want to be with this man so bad? So then tell me what's going on inside of you. Who didn't choose you a long time ago? Tell me. And that's the part. And I feel like as friends and family, we don't do our part and go, baby, that ain't it. And his sisters, like, yeah, you gonna be the one. We like you. It ain't really up to y'all. So this is just a mess and a recipe for disaster. But you know what I can appreciate? Is Zay's oldest sister. She was like, girl, did you use Cash App? He used that for drugs. Like, he gooped you. And I'm so glad somebody told her. I'm so glad she kept it real with her. See, Damon's mama, that's how you do it. You be honest with people. And I appreciated that. And while Carrington was there crying, sis was like, You want a shot? And then she's like, I gotta get ready for work. And I'm like, where is you going that you've been drinking, sis? You can't be at them people's workhouse and had a little yang yang yang. Although maybe you can. I just loved all of it. You hear me? She's like, well, I gotta feed my kids and get ready for work. So you leaving? Like, so what you about to do? I was tickled pink, but I'm glad that she kept it a buck with her, and I appreciate that. And Carrington, you should appreciate that too. And I just want to tell you, Pumpkin, love yourself. Maybe not date right now, because I think you're a little vulnerable, and I think that you got to work on whatever it is that makes you want to be with some man who is in prison that you don't know, and you're talking about your future husband and you ain't even seen each other and you can't even visit with him, honey, and he's lying to you. Like, I think we should maybe work on that, especially because you have a little one. And I get sir sent you $7,000, and listen, $7,000 is nothing to bat an eye about. I appreciate that, and you should appreciate that too. However, the $7,000 was spent, and now you got to go into your real life money for you and your daughter and give him $300, and he just fleeced you out of $300. So, that's the whole question. Like, if you only got $10, does that mean more to you if someone gives you their only $10, or for somebody who got $1,000 and give you 100? Like, which means more? And people have to answer that for themselves. But Carrington, Pumpkin, and your little family is so cute with all the K's. That was so cute. I appreciated that. And now, lastly, is Dia and Cyrus. Let me tell you something. Dia, if I gave out pow pows for real, you would get some. You would get some, Pumpkin. Not only did you drag your children into this one time, but now you in it again a second time with your man's ex bunkie or whatever. Who is 9 and 10 years younger than you? What you finna do with him for real? Like, what are we really talking about? You got 9 years on him, and I don't want to talk about nobody's appearance or anything like that, but girl, he lied to you about what he looked like, how tall he is, all this other stuff. So if he lied to you about that, what else you think he lied to you about? And what can this man do for you and your children? Like, seriously, honestly, how can he help? How can he add to? Or is he going to take away? And that's not to say that you can't find love. This ain't a conversation about blue collar versus white collar and what can you get from a man. These are not the conversations that I'm having. But perhaps if we got very clear, or maybe just a little clearer about our life goals and what we expect in relationship, maybe we'd find out that we're not as aligned as we thought that we were. Because Dia, what? And now you crying like we were supposed to be together, Dia. And you bringing your kids in, and the kids were expecting him. Why? Why were the children? Why? How come? Why? Why were you so gung ho to bring that man into your family? Why? Tell me. Are you lonely? Is that it? Like, and because like, let's have the real conversation. It is okay to say, sis, I'm lonely, right? I get that. And maybe we should get maybe you should get some hobbies. Maybe there should be some other things that you fill your time with, maybe getting to know yourself and what you're going to do that's better for you. Your mom is out here crying because you have picked wrong. And I'm not going to say that, Cyrus is wrong for you, but I think he is. But you had the other dude who, and then you're like, you got to let me go. He's like, never, I'll never let you go. Girl. And y'all weren't even together a year. Cut this out. Cut this out right now. He comes home and y'all break up in no time at all. And now you over here doing a whole nother year with Cyrus, and you got your kids doing it. Do you want this for your children? If your children came to you and said, Mom, like, this is what I got going on, is this what you would want for them? Like, honestly. And you're talking to your oldest baby girl about it, and I think she's in her 20s. Is this what you want for your 20-year-old daughter? Is it really? And I don't think that it is. And so let's get to the root cause of like what this is, because no, that's all because no way, Jose. So there we are, and there we have it. I'm excited to see it all unfold and what's going to happen. But I think we see on the next episode that Damon Benita sprays ketchup or whatever all over Damon. He deserves it, and his mama deserve it too. And now Goddess and Benita start kissing. I don't like that at all. Do what you do, right? If y'all give this man this polyamorous business that he's looking for, I'm coming to Baltimore. And I'm looking for y'all. And we're going to sit down. We got to have a conversation. Like, I swear for God, we got to have a conversation because y'all don't do this. Don't do this. Please, Lord, don't do this. So, I do not know. And we found out that Bonita been dealing with the cheatation. Oh, Bonita. And I love you. And Bonita, let me tell you something. Bonita is a hustler, okay? So Bonita gonna get to it. And I love that for her. And Goddess's mom showing up with the horse, baby. A horse in Baltimore, or you know what? All right. You see what I'm saying? I really love Baltimore. I love their accent. Their accent is so interesting to me. That and the Bostonians. I love it. But the Baltimore to you, like who? I love it. Anyway, that's Love After Lockup. Let's see what happens, Lord. Oh, it's just so juicy. Anywho, I hope you guys have a great one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.